Hey everybody, it's Rita coming at you live, and we're gonna see how we do here at home. For those that don't know me or are new to this group, because I know we're adding people, my name is Rita, and you probably also don't know that I live in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. So my Wi-Fi service, as well as my regular data service, kind of ebbs and flows and never gets that great. So we're going to do the best we can today with a live training. I'm really excited you're here. Thanks for tuning in to this, and we're going to go over some general stuff no matter who you are. At the end, I'm going to tag on also some pointers for those of you that are participating in the virtual vendor event that we're kicking off later this week. And please, if you're watching live, post your questions and I will try to get to them at the end. Or if you're watching a replay, still ask your questions, and I'll be happy to comment responses. For those that don't know, I have been working in digital marketing and social media marketing for the last 12 years now. I've also been working on the online e-commerce space for about that long, as well as very familiar with direct sales. So a lot of experience here, and I really love the entrepreneurial space. I've been in that space for 12 years, and I do this because I want to help others. I love connecting with other entrepreneurs. I think there's a great energy and a creativity, and when we come together, we can do even greater things, I think. So today's training is about online events, particularly Facebook events, because that has become a very popular thing to do, but especially here in 2020 when getting together live and in person just really hasn't been able to happen for a lot of people. And why I created this vendor event is because very often there are these, we see them in the spring, throughout the summer, at fall festivals, opportunities for vendors and business owners and entrepreneurs to set up and connect with new market, new customers, other businesses, and build their network. And we've just not had that much this year. And now we're going into the holiday season, another wonderful time to do such events. And again, most places are not able to do that. Even ones that have been set up are currently being canceled due to a rise in COVID cases. So I really hope this event can help some of you reach new customers, make new connections. And so today I want to talk about some tips that could help you with your day on that vendor event, but also just any online events you do in the future. And this could be for any kind of business, anytime you're trying to do business online. Hey, Whitney, maybe Towns is watching too. Okay, so again, remember that when you do these live events, you are not there in person like you are at a real vendor event. And regardless of whether you're doing something that is direct sales, which means, there are other people selling your exact same product and brand, or if you have your own unique line, your own unique offering, or you custom make something, the reality is somebody has something out there similar to what you do. So part of what you have to do on this online event is establish yourself, establish who you are, to start a connection and a relationship with these new prospects. Because I think one of the things you have to learn first, if you don't know already, which you probably do, is that people buy from you. They're not buying so much your product, but they're going to buy from you. So I always advise that if you can, get in there live in your event and introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about your story. You don't have to make it a book or a novel, but let people hear your voice. Let people see your facial expressions. Let them see you stumble over your words, and tell a little bit about yourself so they feel like they're actually buying from a person, you, and getting to know you, and not just, something that they could go on Amazon and find, because the reality is everybody can do that. So they're going to buy from you because they kind of feel like they're investing in someone, they're helping someone, and that's why we all like to support small businesses, right? So try to go live. If you absolutely do not want to do that, then I suggest at least making a post with your picture, your family picture, and just a brief version of your story so they can get to know you a little better. The second thing is, of course, you have to invite. And I know that in some cases, you might be hosting an event with somebody else, somebody who's offered to like share your business, and they're going to be doing the inviting. And so it's a little out of your control. But of course, you want to stress that to them. And the big thing is you can invite a slew of people, but if you aren't reaching out to them individually, you're not doing a whole lot. A couple of reasons for that. One, I think we can all say that we miss notifications from Facebook all the time because there's so many of them, and Facebook has weird ways of deciding which ones are most important. And a lot of times event and group invites, they decide are not very important. So I always invite people and follow up with a private message. And I usually also send a link to my actual group or event page. So I'm not just telling them what it is, but I'm making it so easy they don't have to go back and look for it somewhere on Facebook to find if they want to engage or check it out. So do that yourself, or tell your partnering host that they really need to do that. And if they're a partnering host, you might give them a little verbiage just to make it easier on them, but also remind them that adding a personal touch to that note really matters, because people hate getting canned cold messages in their DMs. Okay, next thing that I have found is really helpful, and we're doing this in our vendor event, is offering giveaways and prizes. Because your event is going to show up a lot better in everyone's main feed, all your guests' feed, if there's lots of engagement happening, commenting and likes from people other than you. So if you do a giveaway, people want to check out your page, right? They're more likely to think like, well, I might not be buying anything, but I have a chance to win something. So I'll at least comment or go check it out. And the more they comment, the more it's going to show up in people they're connected to's feed. That's a whole other training that I won't go into. But kind of piggybacking on that idea of giveaways is that the best thing I have found is to encourage that engagement and make it very, very easy. Don't just say, hey, you'll get a prize at the end on most likes and comments, or based on likes and comments, I'll do a giveaway. Okay, then people want to engage, but sometimes, it sounds silly, but I think we can all agree, when you have to think about what to comment, that's just extra effort. And then you don't get the greatest comments, if at all. Like, you might get like cool or awesome or I like that. What I find is, especially if you have a service or you offer either maybe a wide variety of products, so you're trying to figure out who these people are that are engaging and interested, or if maybe you're kind of educating in your event to help build awareness for what your product or service does for people, ask a question at the end of each post. And when we do these events, we even say, this is a raffle question. So it's not that people won't get entered into the contest if they comment something else, but at the end, there's always a question that has to do with whatever that post was about. So say you're marketing something to do with kids. Maybe a question would do like something like, what are your kids' favorite interests, or what ages are your children? Or if you're doing something educational, you might say, it might be some sort of trivia thing, like, what do you think the top number of blah, blah, blah is? So make it easy for people to engage by adding a question if you're doing a giveaway based on likes and comments, which I really encourage some kind of giveaway based on engagement, because if you're just doing a giveaway based on people attending, someone could say attending and then they never even come back to the page. And you really don't want to reward that person. You want to reward the people for coming and engaging. And so when they're commenting and liking, based on these questions, you're making it so easy for them to do that engagement. It's also, Facebook's going to say, oh, this person has interest in this group or this event. So they're not only going to give notifications in the notification feed to that person when there's new posts and new activity, they're going to actually show it in their feed. So when they're just stuck in the scroll hole on a break from work or late at night on the couch, they're going to see posts from your event as they're scrolling, rather than actually having to go to the event page to see what they missed. So again, the more you can get them to engage, the more it's just going to be easy for the content to pop out of them, and they're not going to forget about your event. Okay, so that was 3 things so far. Go live, make your guests know who you are, and to start developing a connection to you, not just what your products are. send personal messages when you invite, and 3, do a giveaway and prizes, and 4, piggybacks onto that, which is ask questions at the end of your post so it's easy for people to engage. And plus, it helps you get to know what kind of people are engaging with you. All right, next one. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so this is what I have found works best. I know some people do parties and they have a set start time of 7:30 p.m. and all the posts go up in the next 30 minutes to an hour, and then there might be some hit and miss posts over the next couple days or something. But what I find is spacing out your posts. It's going to do a lot better for your guests, because the reality is, unlike if you have it in a live event, it's going to be at a set time and people either show up or they don't. But with these virtual events and the amount of virtual things out there and why people are even on Facebook, they're not going to sit down and be glued down to just your Facebook event for a 30-minute window. They're going to be going back and forth and looking at other things. So it works better if maybe there's a few ways you could do it. You could do it over a day's time and post, spread your posts out throughout the day. So whenever that person is logged into Facebook, they might see one of the new posts, or they're reminded of what happened. Oh yeah, I wanted to check that out, or those posts show up in their newsfeed. That's one way to do it. Or another way would be to spread it out over a series of days and only do a couple of posts a day. So again, you have several days where your guests are kind of getting notifications and reminders to go check out the event, to go comment on your posts and check out the products. So again, when you only limit it to a small window, then you're banking on catching those people in that small window, or banking on them going out of their way down the road to go back and look at it without Facebook reminding them to do so. So I suggest spreading it out, or at least if you do it in a small window, have a plan for some follow-up posts over the next couple of days. And definitely make your event last for a several day period. If you don't know this, now you have to set an end time. You can't go back and add an end time, and otherwise Facebook will end your event at midnight that night, whatever you set it up as. I always go in and make it several days later, because another thing is, somebody maybe doesn't see your invite until the event takes place or after it's taken place. If it's already over, then it's gone. They cannot access what you've posted, and maybe they just had been off Facebook a few days. Maybe life had gotten in the way and been crazy, but they really wanted to check it out. So if you leave your event open for a little longer than the actual main posting period, that'll give people an opportunity to still go in there and RSVP and say yes. And of course, another thing we won't go into is there's a difference in how, if you're doing a group event or an actual event, you can do a group page or an event page, and those settings are a little different. But if you're doing an event, set an end time, and make sure it's a few days after the actual end time, so that somebody doesn't end up missing out that really had genuine interest. Okay. It is nice to have a consistent look. A lot of times, if you're with a partnering business with a direct sales company, they've already created images and graphics that you can use. So there's a nice flow and a cohesion to your page. If you don't have that, try to use apps to maybe create similar fonts in your images. It just gives it a nice professional look to the guests when they get there. Okay, and this is a big one to me, because the reality is only so many people are actually going to make purchases at your event. That is what it is. It's just like being set up at a vendor event, right? Only so many people passing by your table are actually going to stop and make a purchase. So the point of one of these events, you want to get some sales. You'd love to get some new customers. But really, you want to start to develop some new relationships and bring some new people into your circles that may be down the road. Because the reality is, right now might not be the time for them to make a purchase of whatever you're offering, but down the road might be, right? So you want to have a plan in your event to get those guests somewhere where they continue to build a relationship, with you, where they continue to learn about your products, where your products and business stay top of mind to them. Hey, Leslie. So anyway, so we've got we want a place where we can send them. And this can be different things. It depends on where your place is. And honestly, you should have a place for your people or your current customer base or others that have interest in what you do, that you're continuing to nurture and educate them. Smart for any business. So that might be a private group that you've created on Facebook, where you share your products and you educate and you have fun and do things with your customer base and prospects. It might just be your personal profile or your Instagram page or whatever, and on another social media platform. Actually, maybe Facebook isn't your main space, but you want to encourage people to go there and follow you there and stay connected with you there, because right now there's a good chance not everybody is going to make a purchase from you, but it doesn't mean they won't down the road. And another thing is, maybe you have an email list, and that's something we won't talk about today, but it is a very powerful thing to have an email list, and you keep people in the loop with you through email, because the reality is some people just don't like social media, and social media is a very crowded, noisy space. So email marketing done right is very powerful. So that might be somewhere else that you direct people to stay connected with you, or a way you can stay connected with them. So there are different ways you can do that. You might just make a post about it. Sometimes I've made that as part of an entry into the giveaway, is making sure that you join this group or follow this page or whatever. But if you don't currently have a place that you direct people to continue to build relationships with brand new people, start thinking about a creative way you want to do that works best for you. Like I said, maybe it isn't even on Facebook. Maybe it's on a social media platform you like better. Or maybe it's through an email list and you have a newsletter or some kind of emailing you do. So those are my big tips for hosting events, no matter what kind of industry you're in. Again, I think events online, they're great for if you can get some sales right off the bat. But honestly, especially if you're partnering with somebody else to do that event and you're getting the opportunity to be in front of brand new people, the reality is you're a stranger. So they could go on Amazon or go to Google and probably find whatever you're offering in some form or fashion somewhere else. Even though you have a uniqueness, they can find it somewhere else. So you've got to be able to connect with them. So either connecting with them in a very personal way at the event, like a live, that's important, a Facebook Live video, but really having a way to continue to nurture that relationship is very important. And I have seen this happen for me personally in my own business, but also in businesses I've invested in later down the road and products I've bought down the road. I didn't buy when I learned about the event, learned about the product in an event, but as I continued to stay connected to that person, I didn't forget then about what they did, and I learned more about that person and why I wanted to actually buy from them. So I really encourage to expand your mind to making an event as much about the long-term relationship with these prospects as it is about the immediate sale. All right, so then just a little bit for those of you that are participating in the Illuminated Season vendor event this week. And if you've not signed up and you're interested, I still have a couple of slots left. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and I just love the participation. So these are my suggestions. I'm going to be emailing all of you some specific details, and of course ask away with your questions. But I suggest limiting, you're going to have one day for your post, right? And it's just you. I suggest limiting it to 5 to 6 posts rather than just flooding with posts of products and everything you have to offer, because that's just too overwhelming for most people. So try to find a way to limit it to 5 to 6 posts. If you do more, I'm not going to kick you out. It's up to you, but that's my suggestion. And in there, you also have to have your post about your giveaway too. So if it ends up being 6 or 7, that might be okay. So limit it and really be picky about what you post. Be sure to engage on days that you aren't featured. Okay, don't just wait till your day, throw up your stuff, and then skip the party, okay? Because remember, the more you engage, the more your guests are going to see these other vendors and what they're doing and have more interest. And you really want these other vendors to do the same for you, right? You want new engagement, you want new activity, you want new prospects learning about you. So the whole idea here is we're helping each other as business owners have an opportunity to really expand our markets during the holiday season. So I know we're all busy and this event is taking place over like a 2-week period. I don't expect you to like be on there nonstop, but set a reminder to check in on it at the end of every day, or whatever time of day works for you, first thing in the morning, and just scroll through and like some of the posts, answer some of the questions. You might find some other things that you actually do have genuine interest in. And that's the other thing I really want to tell you guys is connect with each other. This is a great opportunity to meet some other people that are passionate about what they do. And you might find somebody that really complements what you do well, and maybe doing a partnered event down the road could be helpful. Maybe doing a partner giveaway or something. You don't know who you could meet here, not just in prospective customers, but in other businesses and business owners that you could learn from and partner with and just do great things with. So engage with each other, get to know each other. I have actually, the first time I did one of these as a participant 3 years ago, I made some wonderful connections with ladies that are actually in this group that I've created wonderful friendships with, and it's all been virtual and we've never met in person, but you can make some wonderful connections through an event like this. Again, please invite. If you're not inviting and none of the other vendors are inviting, you're not helping anybody else. So like, do your part and invite to this event, so because you want other people doing the same thing for you. You want some new people in front of you, so be sure you do your part and invite and send those messages with the link to the group when you do that. Let's see. Oh, and the last thing is, obviously this is going to take place during that stretch of like Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and really now these days it's all just one cluster of days of deals. And I recognize that certain people are going to get featured on certain days. So Thursday on Thanksgiving, I don't want to put it on anybody's plate to have to do their posting on that holiday. Be with your friends, family, and don't stress about Facebook. So I'm actually going to open up that day for any of the vendors to post about their specials going on over the upcoming days of deals and specials, if they have anything. If you don't have anything, you don't have to post. But that way, if your day is not going to happen until after those specials have taken place, you still have the opportunity to share with all the guests what you do have coming up. So I just want to give everyone that opportunity, and that'll be on Thanksgiving Day. But again, I'll be emailing all this information to each of you, and you'll be getting an invite to the group where we'll be doing this event, and we'll be getting a schedule together. I'm just trying to finalize a few final vendors and then which days, because I want everything to be a little spaced out so we get a good variety. And we do have some variety, and what I really love is some of these vendors, well, some of them are direct sales, and maybe there's some products you've heard of because you know somebody who sells them. Some of them are direct sales ones that I've never heard of and I'm personally excited to learn more about, and that's why I asked them to do this event. And then some of them are just original, neat businesses that people have come up with that I think are great ideas for the holiday season that many of us could utilize. And thankfully, they're all businesses that have offerings that it doesn't matter geographically where you live. You don't have to be local to them to take advantage of the businesses. So let's all support each other as entrepreneurs. Let's support each other in the holiday season when small businesses have really struggled in 2020. And if anybody has questions or other comments regarding this topic, I would love to hear them in the comments. And looking forward to this week. Also, if you're not a vendor in the event, but you want an invite just to participate, check it out. Consider doing something like it down the road. I'd be happy to send you an invite. All right, everybody. Peace out.